On a typical day at the local zoo, a spirited young gorilla causes a bit of trouble in front of the visitors. However, his father is keeping a close watch. With swift action, the father steps in and swiftly corrects his son's behavior. In November 2017, a group of visitors at Twycross Zoo in Leicestershire, England had the unique opportunity to witness a remarkable interaction between two western lowland gorillas. Ambi, the towering silverback, was resting after a long day of gathering straw for his den. The sun was high in the sky, and he was soaking it up. The visitors snapped pictures, marveling at the strength of his body and his commanding presence. To them, Ambi was the epitome of a powerful primate, but to somebody else, he was just Dad. Gorillas and humans share a staggering percentage of their DNA and have been observed displaying similar behaviors. Just like human children delight in annoying their parents from time to time, Ambi's sons, Shufai and Lope, decided it was time to interrupt Dad's well-deserved rest. As young gorillas, their days were all about play. They romped around tirelessly, chasing each other and making playful noises. Usually they kept to themselves, leaving Mom and Dad to handle things. But that day they decided to involve their dad in their games. The zookeepers noticed the mischievous glances exchanged between the brothers as they approached their resting father, planning a prank. They quickly grabbed their phones, eager to capture what they thought would be a heartwarming moment among primates. While Shufei stayed back, Lope bravely approached his dad. As Ambi tried to rest, Lope got in close, pretending to be curious about the enclosure's surroundings. It was clear he was just trying to bother his dad. Ambi blinked a few times, seemingly saying, "Really? Right here?" Parents never get a break from their kids, and gorillas are no different. Yet, Ambi responded gently, as everyone expected from him despite his size. He chuckled softly at his son's antics, acknowledging his youthful enthusiasm. Some said he even shook his head, just like a human dad might. Maybe he knew sometimes the best way to handle a mischievous child is to ignore them. But Lope didn't give up. He darted around Ambi, trying hard to get his attention. Ambi kept his eyes closed, hoping Lope would find something else to do. But Lope kept getting closer, disrupting his dad's well-deserved rest. Ambi was known as a gentle giant among the zoo workers, but they also knew he could snap at a moment's notice despite his sweet demeanor. He was still a wild animal and the leader of his family. Frustration flickered in his wise eyes when his son came even closer and started casually ripping grass. Ambi opened his eyes, his attention now fully on Lope, their gazes locking in a silent exchange. This was no longer mere playfulness. It was a test of boundaries. It was almost as if he was saying, "Enough, little one." But just like all children of all species, Lope didn't know when to quit. He wanted to elicit a reaction from his father. Little did he know, he was about to get one he wouldn't forget for a while. As the young gorilla turned away from his dad and pretended to stretch, his little brother Shufei peeked out from the enclosure door. To the zoo staff, it seemed like Shufei was checking if his older brother Lope had gone too far. Shufei glanced nervously between Lope and Ambi, then quickly retreated back into the safety of the enclosure. Maybe he sensed that their father was losing patience. Lope took a few steps back, and then returned to the spot where Ambi was trying to nap, but wouldn't get to enjoy. Finally, Ambi reacted as Lope had anticipated. The large silverback huffed and got up swiftly, leaving his resting spot to take a brief stroll. Perhaps he was trying to calm himself before reacting in front of the humans. But then his sons decided to follow him again, disrupting any hope of peace and quiet for Ambi that day. After his attempt at a brief moment of peace on the grass was also interrupted, Ambi had enough. With a quick movement that barely gave his son time to move aside, he charged angrily to the other side of the enclosure, showing them the full force of an adult silverback's anger. The zoo visitors held their breath, unsure of what Ambi would do next. Just weeks before, the staff had shared a video of Ambi displaying aggression towards his mate and sons. They shared it not to portray Ambi negatively, but to remind everyone that despite their usually calm nature, gorillas are wild animals with strong instincts. Now everyone waited to see if Ambi would discipline his sons for their mischief. However, Ambi chose not to punish his children this time. They seemed frightened enough already. Shufei ran away from his dad, perhaps seeking comfort from his mother or the safety of the enclosure. Lope, surprised by his father's reaction, shuddered with worry evident on his face. He whimpered nervously, realizing he had crossed a line with his antics. Shaken, Lope quickly gave his father the space he had been asking for all day, his dark eyes fixed on Ownby. The silent exchange between father and son spoke volumes, conveying both acceptance and lingering defiance. As his playful energy simmered down, a grudging respect settled over Lope, his demeanor softened by the weight of the lesson learned. With a small shake of his head, he turned away from Ownby, seeking solace and perhaps a new approach to garner his father's attention. After Ownby finally settled down, Lope sought out his brother Shufai for company. Together they played a new game, their playful antics echoing with laughter and joy. The unique gorilla interaction between Ownby and Lope quickly went viral on social media. It sparked widespread conversations, with some finding the exchange amusing and drawing parallels to human behavior. Others raised concerns about the future of gorillas in the wild, emphasizing the need for conservation efforts to protect their natural habitats. Amidst the viral sensation, Twycross Zoo took center stage. Nestled in Leicestershire, England, the zoo had gained renown for its diverse wildlife, especially as primates. Twycross Zoo's journey with gorillas began in 2009 with the arrival of 3 female western lowland gorillas, Dant, Biddy, and Oala, born at the zoo. Oala's presence was particularly significant, symbolizing Twycross's commitment to preserving genetic diversity and ensuring a sustainable future. 3 years later, a silverback named Ownby joined Twycross Zoo, bringing excitement as he bonded with Oala. Their son Lope was born in January 2013, followed by Shufai's arrival on September 24, 2016. Staff and visitors alike celebrated their births, captivated by their curious nature and Ownby's watchful care. As Lope and Shufai grew, their playful mischief became a cherished source of entertainment for all who visited the zoo. Yet amidst the laughter and light-heartedness, a deeper bond began to form between father and son. Ownby, with his gentle yet firm demeanor, nurtured Lope and Shufai's adventurous spirits, guiding them through the complexities of gorilla life with patience and love. The incident of him charging at them for disrupting his sleep schedule was one of those moments, a gentle reminder of boundaries and respect within the gorilla family. Despite the initial shock, both Lope and Shufai quickly learned from the encounter. Through moments of guidance and correction, Ownby continued to shape their character, instilling in them the values of resilience and empathy that would serve them well in the years to come. As the sons of a leader, they would one day be expected to guide and protect their own families and maintain order within their small communities. This intention is what, on another occasion, caused Shufai to find himself on the wrong side of his father's death stare. It all started when a sudden change in Oala's behavior raised concerns among the zoo staff. The usually vibrant and active gorilla began to eat less and show signs of lethargy, prompting worries about her health. With Oala's well-being in mind, the staff separated her from the rest of her family to conduct thorough medical examinations. Relief washed over the vet team when the diagnosis revealed that Oala was suffering from nothing more than a mere fever, a common ailment that, if left untreated, could worsen over time. With the cause of her illness identified, the doctors wasted no time in administering the necessary medications, their expertise and diligence ensuring Oala's swift recovery. Within days, the effects of the medication began to take hold and Oala's strength returned, her once languid demeanor replaced by a renewed vitality. Despite her improved condition, however, the doctors recognized the need for caution, knowing that Oala still required time to fully recuperate before reuniting with her family. However, a few days later, the decision was made to reintroduce Oala to her family, despite her ongoing need for rest and recuperation. As she was led back to their enclosure, the familiar sights and sounds of her home greeted her, offering a sense of comfort and familiarity amidst the uncertainty of her recent illness. As the female gorilla was reunited with her family, her children rushed to greet her in their own endearing ways. They surrounded her with affection, welcoming her back with eager gestures and soft vocalizations. Oala, in turn, reciprocated their gestures of love, her maternal instincts kicking in as she embraced her sons. Despite the occasional exasperation at their boundless energy, Ozawa cherished her playful son's antics, realizing how much she had missed them during her absence. Lope and Shufai seemed to intuitively understand that their mother needed time to rest and recuperate. Sensing her fatigue, they adjusted their behavior accordingly, adopting a gentler approach in their interactions with her. They refrained from their usual roughhousing and mischief, instead opting for quiet moments of companionship and comfort by her side. However, the respite from Shufei's playful antics proved to be short-lived. One day, as he engaged in a spirited game of chase with his brother Lope, his exuberance inadvertently caused him to collide with Ozawa, knocking her off balance. The impact left the female gorilla shaken and upset, her distress palpable as she struggled to regain her footing. Aombi, the vigilant father, watched the incident unfold with increasing worry. Seeing Ozawa's distress, he stood up with a deep, rumbling groan, his fatherly instincts taking charge. He gave Shufei a stern look, communicating his disapproval, his gaze carrying the weight of many lessons yet to be learned. Caught off guard by his father's serious expression, Shufei's playful laughter faded, replaced by a sudden realization of his mistake. With a heavy heart, Shufei moved to a corner of their space, feeling ashamed and avoiding Aombi's gaze. The once lively gorilla now sat quietly, reflecting on the consequences of his actions. In the quiet moment that followed, Shufei resolved to learn from his error, determined to regain his father's trust through humility and obedience. Understanding Shufei's youth and energy, Aombi forgave him soon after. Despite occasional slip-ups, Shufei remained dearly loved by both his parents. With Ozawa fully recovered, the gorilla family at Twycross Zoo returned to their daily routines with renewed energy. Freed from sickness, they thrived in their lush habitat, their bonds strengthened by shared experiences and challenges. Yet amid the busy life of the zoo, the memory of Aombi's unique parenting with Lope and Shufei remained deeply etched in the minds of staff and visitors alike. What you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.